So my mother put me into ballet when I was 5. Yeah, I would dance till I was 52, I think. Taught at the School for the Performing Arts and Lexington Ballet, Kentucky Ballet, choreographed. So dance was kind of my first art love, but I also liked to draw and paint and was a studio art minor in college. So I was involved with what was called then the Society for Arts in Healthcare. We were a member, and they sent an advisor, a consultant down. I think Dr. Carve had seen some preliminary research about shorter stays, less medication, better outcomes, and he was aware of those things. He felt strongly that art could make a difference. So I started actively buying art for the facility in 2008. No one else was buying art, and it was fantastic that I had a budget to go visit artists' studios and purchase art and frame it and represent them in the medical center. We had major international call commission pieces for the public areas, and then the floors have roughly, 75 pieces on each floor, and those are all original works from regional artists. So while I was at UK Healthcare, as I mentioned, I worked with a committee, and Dr. Sakeley was part of that committee. And I simultaneously was working with his late wife, Teresa Garbalinska, who was a concert pianist. So he had a very vested interest in the performing arts and music in particular. And then I convinced him that with my interest in visual arts, that we needed to have a foundation that supported both. And so the Hamilton Sakeley Garbalinska Foundation was formed, and it has a dual mission of supporting music and the performing arts. Even beyond music, but just performing arts in general and the visual arts. So I've been able to fund a lot of projects across the community. So my work with the program allowed me to witness the power of art in a healthcare setting. I always cry when I tell this story. We used to have performing arts artists in the lobby. We called it Tuesdays at noon. And so we had a pianist down there. A lot of times the artists would volunteer their time. He was playing, a gentleman came down to sit and listen, and he was about to finish up, and the gentleman said, could you play one more thing? And he played Jesus Loves Me, his kind of own version of it. And the man just started crying. And he said, that's the song my wife requested right before she passed. And so they were hugging each other and crying together. And it was powerful. It made it all worthwhile.